Welcome back to the Nectar series. Today I'm really excited because we just got our very first semi-load of Nectar Integrated Boxes. I've just been offloading it. This is the very first pallet. You can see pallet 1 of 24 coming out of this van. He's just arrived from North Dakota. Quite cold in here, drop about 30 degrees stepping inside this van. I just slid a tag into this tag holder. Look how nice these are. So not only are they all pre-installed, let me just show you here. Bam, bam, bam. Every single one has the tag holder already integrated, but also the tag holder is embedded flush with the box. So they don't stick out at all. In fact, they're slightly indented. Both sides of every box have a tag holder pre-installed, so you're not dealing with that out in the field. Tag holders breaking off, needing to install tag holders out in the field. You can see the contact info all on there. These tags can be installed from the top or from the bottom, the way they've built them. And again, once they're in there, they're not getting knocked off as you go out into the orchards or stack them as dead outs. They're sitting in there protected and flush. This first load is from Premier Bee Products in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I've got a second load on its way from Bennett Apiaries in Red Bluff, California. We're pretty excited to start working with these. I think it's gonna make working with Nectar out in the field just that much better. All right, I'm really excited. We just got in all of our Bennett and our Premier Bee boxes. We've got everything stacked up here. You can see some with frames, some without. I pulled out a couple boxes. Let's come over and take a look at them, kind of compare the differences that at least I can see visually between the two boxes. Right here, we have the Bennett Apiaries box. Right here, we have the Premier box. And you can see the cuts are slightly different in the way they're done. The joints are different here in the box. The handholds, you kind of have a wider one here on Premiers. It's not quite as deep, it's wider. Got a little bit of a deeper cut here, not quite as wide. You know, I think as far as the Nectar integration, they're both gonna work great. They're both sit nice and flush. And there's the stenciling, the difference between how the two companies stencil. Kind of looking inside the box, they look identical to me. So we'll try these out in the field, see how they perform. I'm actually headed up to Bennett Apiaries tomorrow to do a video with them on their production process and kind of how they went through the prototyping and building of their box. So let's go up there and we'll talk with Paige and Tom about the Bennett box. Welcome back to the Nectar series. I'm up here at Bennett Apiaries with Tom and Paige Bennett, the owners, and I'm really excited for the introduction of the Nectar Integrated Box that they have designed and built out. So why don't you tell me, Tom, a little bit about this box, the groove you guys have cut in, and how this came to be.
Sure, we built an apparatus that allows us to cut these grooves from the edge of the box coming in. You have easy access from the top or the bottom. This card can come in and out just like that. Your guys can experiment with a variety of ways in the field. As they use this over time, they're going to have their preference to work that card. We can provide other options with this as well. We can put it on the sides of the box if that was preferred. We could cut this groove further up if that was preferred. We tried to just design a system that would give you the maximum options.
Yeah, and this is so much, I mean, the amount of effort that goes into installing these out in the field is a lot. You've got to have, you know, a screwdriver, an impact driver, you've got to have all the equipment, you've got a veil on. It's just not an easy thing. It takes hundreds of man hours to install these out in the field. And I'm sure it took you a number and your crew a number of hours to make this happen, but it's done so much better, and every box comes pre-installed. So when you're out in the field, it's not like, oh, we forgot to install this one, we forgot to install that one. Everything's already in there. And what I think essentially, yeah. What's really cool is that these will be protected from, you know, tree branches often break off the holders. When you stack up dead outs and the boxes are nested together, they'll break each other off. And, you know, pulling the nets off of semis will sometimes catch the corner of these and break them off. But with them sitting flush like this, they're so much better protected. We've got the deep handholds. They've branded in our Miller Honey Farms and phone number on the front of the box. This looks really nice. It's burned in, so it can't just be painted over easily. They've gone so far as stamping all of the frames with Miller Honey Farm 2026. This really helps us with our comb inventory, knowing how old frames are, and our inventory rotation of old comb. We're able to see what year every frame was made within the operation. Over here, this is one of the early prototypes, unpainted here. You can see the raw branding and kind of that channel, how perfectly this fits into the groove there. And as they mentioned, it's pretty easy to pull this tag out bottom or top. The channel could be cut up higher if someone's running a setup that didn't lend itself to the exact placement. It could be moved up or down or even to the side of the box. So really nicely done, really clean. I like this smooth camphor that you guys have created here, and I'm pretty excited to get these out in the field. I know they're going to be a lot more reliable. They're going to work a lot better than trying to install tag holders out in the field. And then I think the longevity is going to be a huge improvement over tag holders that are just screwed into the side of the box.
Yeah, nothing like screw guns when you're surrounded by stinging insects. So
Yeah.
we were able to lay it out here in a factory environment.
Yeah, and it's really cool. Speaking of the factory, if you come over here, we'll take a look at just everything going on. There's around 30 employees down on that floor, building boxes, frames, assembling, painting. They have an enormous warehouse. They have some really cool automated equipment that they've developed in-house that really speeds up production. And it's been great working with you guys over the last decade in seeing your evolution as a company and the products you guys are churning out. So pretty excited to put these out in the field. Thank you guys.